comrades of the Presidium, veteran leaders of the communist movement, my esteemed beloved colleagues of left parties and delegates and observers. Perhaps you might have noticed I am suffering from throat pain and problems, related problems. Doctors have advised me to give complete rest to throat. Some of you may think that the doctor gave him that advice in anticipation of the plight of the delegates in the CPI Congress. What would happen if such an advice is not given to him? Maybe some of you with a sense of humor would think on those lines. However, whatever little voice would be left within a communist worker, if she or he is not doing his duty of communicating with fellow comrades in a party congress, why should that person should have at least little voice? Therefore, I always respect doctor's advice, but maybe this could be the only occasion when I can refuse to listen to the advice of the doctor to give voice rest. Now, comrades who have spoken before me, my very beloved comrade Raja, as well as the leader of the reception committee, comprehensively covered very many relevant aspects that a meeting like this, a party congress like this, when it meets in this part of the world and country, because when the revolutionary movement fighting against colonialism emerged during the times of total domination of colonial power, British power, over the entire globe, revolutionary buds sprouted in different corners of the world. Comrades from Punjab went and formed the first revolutionary organization in San Francisco, 4 years ahead of the Great October Socialist Revolution. That is the Ghadar movement. Like that. And justifiably, this Congress, 25th Congress of CPI, is coinciding with a historic landmark of the development of Indian Communist Movement. That was the 100th year of the founding conference being held within the country, Kanpur, in 1925. That's a very significant historical juncture. And we know, 5 years ahead of that, communists had another meeting with M.N. Roy and others in Tashkent. So these are all landmarks. So those days, we were not getting confined to smaller and smaller places. We were spreading out to all parts of the world. And the struggle for the liberation of humanity from exploitation, that was coming up, willing to sacrifice anything. For example, Comrade Kartar Singh has been referred to. In 1915, he along with other comrades were hanged at the age of 19. He would have been a leader of the student movement. So those were the times. Now, okay, we can take inspiration from all these memories and there is nothing wrong. But now the question that we all need to ask is, now, how do we go? How do we face the challenges we are faced with? Because those who were compromising with colonial powers those days, they are now calling the shots in our country. This is the reality. They are not only calling the shots, they are distorting history. From the ramparts of Red Fort, a person who without any shame claims that Savarkar is his guru, and Savarkar, who was one of the accused in the murder case of Mahatma Gandhi, he escaped capital punishment or all that because of mere technical grounds. This is part of history. And this person is having obtained an opportunity to give Independence Day speech from the ramparts. Then he eulogizes RSS. Great service did to the nation. The organization which he praises, the Prime Minister of our country praises, RSS, Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. The then government, with Sardar Patel as the Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister, had to ban RSS for their connection with Mahatma Ji's murder. This is part of history. And this Prime Minister, without any shame, says all this. So this is the reality. So there is a great lesson we need to learn and we need to take to the new generation in our country. Comrade Raja made a reference to Bhagat Singh, what he said. I take my argument further from there. The transformation of Bhagat Singh is very, very important. What he said, bomb or pistol, that's not what is important. But at some point in time, bomb and pistol were things which he was using. He started like that. Then he started understanding what is communist movement. He started reading Lenin. When he was to be taken to the gallows, they asked whether he needs any last wish to be fulfilled. He said, yes, there is a wish. I need little more time because one revolutionary is meeting another revolutionary. He was reading Lenin. I wanted to complete the portion which I am reading. That is the only thing he wanted. That transformation that had happened in Bhagat Singh. Bhagat Singh is, when you look at freedom struggle, we find Mahatma Gandhi is an incomparable presence. No doubt about that. Mahatma Gandhi is Mahatma Gandhi. When we had a leader like Mahatma Gandhi, Bhagat Singh was also able to stand up, and he continues to be counted. And the writings of Bhagat Singh, I do not know whether we have given serious attention to that sufficiently. I am making a self-critical observation. So the message of Bhagat Singh, the left and communist movement should be able to take to the new generation. Otherwise, the so-called Gen Z would come and influence the new generation. Gen Z their energies can be properly channelized also. But we need to, in a appropriate manner, suitable to the present times and to the present generation, how Bhagat Singh was transforming himself through his own experiences, reading and so on. And new generation has to be addressed. Whatever resolutions my party Congress or CPI party Congress or Comrade Dibankar's party Congress or the organizations of Manoj and Devarajan and others, we can pass resolutions. That is important. We have to have our correct perspective. And we can nuance also and discuss whether this is this or that, or this has fully come or not. All that is okay. Part of it. This is our communist tradition. But we have to spend time, that we all realize, to address the new generation. There Bhagat Singh can be a very big lesson, the way in which he transformed himself. Now, Donald Trump is giving us an opportunity. Triple T, tariff terrorism of Trump. We can describe it like that. This is how imperialism behaves. And we all know how he is declaring tariff against India. First, for not concluding the trade negotiation within the stipulated time, 25%. Another 25% for buying oil from Russia. We remember, but for record's sake, I want to remind. Tariff on Brazil. Because Lula da Silva government, as per the law of that land, Brazil, they found the previous president, Bolsonaro, who was conducting himself almost like Donald Trump. Maybe that's the reason. Brazil proceeded against Bolsonaro. So Trump says, since Brazilian judicial system is proceeding against my friend Bolsonaro, tariff on you. Now today's papers have reported that for the 40th time or so, Trump made his claim for Nobel Peace Prize. So maybe Nobel Peace Committee would be shuddering in their seats. If Nobel Peace Committee failed to present the Nobel Peace Prize to Trump, how he will declare tariff on Peace Committee or the members of the countries from where this Peace Committee. So it's but it may appear to be lunatic, but there is a system in which the imperialist domination and the proclamation that we are calling the shot, we are the biggest military power in the world. And through a subterfuge, we have the dollar domination over the world. It's a subterfuge. I don't want to go into the, intricacies of that. They are trying to rule the world. And Trump thinks he is not just the president of USA. He is not president of the world. He is the Vishwa Maharaja. That is how Trump is trying to behave. Now, what the communists and left forces should realize is that this is giving an opportunity for us. Reference was made about what Lenin said, the highest stage of imperialism, the highest stage of capitalism. How anti-people, inhuman, anti-environment, the capitalist and imperialist exploitative system could be, is getting revealed, exposed again and again. So this opportunity, we will have to approach various sections of people. Countries are also compelled to shake up their old inhibitions. The meeting that had taken place in the structure of Shanghai Cooperation Organization. But Indian bourgeois, Indian ruling classes would always try to bargain with this side and that side. BRICS, we are there. Shanghai Cooperation Organization, we are there. But the present RSS-controlled BJP government is positively reacting to the BRICS Plus or Shanghai Cooperation Organization only when it becomes suitable or only when they are compelled to. That is obvious. So, the international political situation, I don't want to mention Gaza. Because if we mention Gaza, then we have to keep silent for moments and moments, thinking about the pangs of the children, women, old people. A genocidal erasure of a civilization, of a piece of, for them it's a piece of land. They want to do business there, real estate business and development they want to make. On this issue also, different forms of campaign, we the left parties, bringing in other sections of society, we may have to launch. Here, it is correct that first of all, I don't know what committed media is doing, but we have come together and we have written a letter to the Prime Minister. They have sections came out and said that we are willing to discuss, but Government of India is not willing to discuss. So such clear manifestations of fascistic behavior from the part of the government. This is continuing. This has been pointed out as a case in point, but there are any number of such instances. Here we should also remember they have their own business plan also as part of this annihilation of any form of resistance among the Adivasis. These areas, many of these areas are 6 scheduled areas. Enormous, valuable, strategically important mineral deposits are there. These are so to be handed over to the people. The present dispensation in Delhi would take support for financial support, Adanis and Ambanis. Assam happened to go there for some programs. So comrades told me, scheduled area where eviction is prohibited, that land cannot be handed over to any industrial purpose without certain procedure. But having identified very huge deposits of very valuable rare earths and minerals, this eviction of tribals are carried out in a systematic manner. Bulldozer is being used. Attacks on minorities, attacks on Dalits, women, all this is rampant. Then the entire electoral process. Election Commission of India becoming a tool in the hands of the ruling party. Already mention has been made, and we know much about that. In this situation, we have to discuss about not only strengthening left and democratic front and alternatives. Wherever the LDF is able to gain a hegemony, how to protect it and further strengthen it is very, very important. Within months, Bihar is going to go in for election. Their three left parties have substantial presence there. And in that, CPIM has relatively better influence than other two communist parties. We communists should recognize these facts. See. There, within the structure of Mahagathbandhan, we should have a very, very clear-cut plan to show that the machinations of election commission, the SIR, they developed for capturing Bihar. The Mahagathbandhan would be in a position to prevent that. In that, left can also play an important role. That role left should be able to play. And if you are successful in that, it will have a fatal blow at the fascist forces in our country. So this priority, Mahagathbandhan as a whole, and left within that should be able to understand and take forward. After that, within months, there will be elections in other states. All those states are important for the left, beginning from Assam, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Pondicherry, and Kerala. Kerala is the only state in our country where we have a left-led, left and non-left democratic parties together. It has gained a political miracle by being in the government 2 consecutive terms. In the recent past history of Kerala, that's a new experience. Kerala is gearing for continuation of that LDF continuity in office. Here, apart from this particular political point, what is there for us to say about Kerala? What is the left alternative? The question would come. I am very sure that during the course of the party congress, when you have deliberation, this aspect would also be subjected for discussion. Recently we had the national celebration, Onam celebration, and civil supplies is taken care of by my CPI comrade. Anil is sitting there. Congratulations to you. This was one of the Onam celebrations where nobody had any complaints. Generally, Civil Supplies Corporation, ration shop, then finance minister would be called to question, pension, welfare pension, this and that. KSRTC employees, let me go into the details. Not only this, by another couple of months, when the anniversary of the Kerala state formation comes on 1st of November, all indications are that Kerala would be the first state in the entire India which is free from acute poverty. Acute poverty eradication campaign is being carried out in Kerala. Total literacy was achieved in Kerala. Now total digital literacy also has been achieved in Kerala. This is the only state in the country where total digital literacy has been achieved. I am saying all this, don't mistake me that since I am from Kerala, I am saying all this. This is the LDF government of Kerala doing. Even if anybody else was the General Secretary of CPI or CPM, these gains of the left need to be spoken. I would conclude this part by referring to Vaishak visit, where all of us are struggling against the privatization of Vaishak steel plant. Kerala, central government wanted to privatize a central PSU in Kerala, Vellore newsprint factory, Hindustan newsprint factory. Comrade KP Rajendran is supplying me with more facts, exact name. It is called Vellore newsprint also, but is national newsprint factory. Hindustan, yeah. In good sense, there are usage of Hindustan in many occasions, traditionally. So what did Kerala government tell the central government? If you want to sell your shares, you can sell. But Kerala state government is willing to take it. Don't go for privatization. That was the attitude of the central government. Long and short, the LDF government of Kerala fought with central government, and when central government wanted to privatize its firm, state Kerala LDF government did not permit that, and LDF government took it over from the central government, and it is run in profit in Kerala. This is also a Kerala model. So, we need to highlight the relevance of the LDF alternative when we carry forward our struggles. Comrades, I did not go through the text of my speech due to a variety of reasons, including it may take time. And most of the grounds are already covered by Comrade Raja and the welcome speech, which was also comprehensive. And I am very sure other comrades, when they speak, they would also be generally in agreement with this overall framework that we have. So in the coming days, how we can take forward the left unity. At party level, we are cooperating. Why don't we think about the mass and class organization where our party comrades are working? Cannot we sit? Earlier we had national platform of mass organizations. We had JEJA. We had various structures. Of course, July 9th strike, All India strike. We all organized together. So we have to have some permanent cooperation at different levels. In the field of culture, we need to cooperate more intimately, because this entire fascistic project is being carried out, masquerading it as a cultural project. They call it cultural nationalism. What culture, what nationalism? Nothing. But that is how RSS is advancing its project. So in the field of culture, we have to develop a broad platform and cooperation. Class and mass organizations can cooperate, and we need to further expand our area of activity in the coming times. Sooner or later, I don't have any doubt that the collective strength of the left and democratic forces in our country would develop as a decisive force in galvanizing far larger sections of society. We have to independently grow. Each left party has to grow. Then we have to cooperate with others. We should be able to attract masses unemployed youth, as per the latest study, in the age group of 20 to 24, 45% unemployment. This is a shocking situation. So they are waiting there for us to approach them and bring them together. I hope the deliberations and decisions of the 25th CPI Congress would come out with clear-cut understanding so that we would be able to harness our forces and go forward. Red salute and greetings to all the delegates. Thank you.